Hey, welcome in, welcome in. I'm just going to be using this Warhammer Burgundy, just to base coat all of his flesh. So yeah, just making sure to get it into all of the shadows and then just giving it a general base coat from above as well. I'm going to just be doing all of his armour for Snaggaroth Knight. Again, just giving it just a base coat over his armour panels, just everything we're going to be doing red. Cool, we'll just be going over his flesh with a Screamer Pink. I'm just going to be doing this from a zenithal perspective, making sure to leave the burgundy and the darker colours. It's okay as well if you accidentally sprayed some of the Snaggaroth Knight into the sort of underside of his skin, and just adds to the shadows, and it'll get covered over later anyway. But yeah, we're just adding this on just as a nice base layer for our flesh tones. Cool, and here he is. These couple of coats on. Looks pretty cool already, to be fair. And I'm just going to be putting this Arcadian flesh tone onto him. Again, I'm just going to be doing this from a zenithal perspective and leaving the nice burgundy and pinks in like the shadows and creases. But yeah, we're just bringing him up to a nice skin tone now. So yeah, just in case you're wondering why I didn't go for his red skin tone, just for me I think it looks a bit cheesy and a bit too much sort of like Satan-y and cartoony, and I thought it'd be much cooler just to have his skin as like his traditional sort of human possessed skin. I think that looks a lot cooler. And yeah, it's like I like to think as well that he may be called the Red Angel, but it's like out of propaganda or just like stories that have been made up about him, because the only people that would have actually seen him probably be dead. And yeah, just that it could have been started from maybe someone did capture a glimpse of him on the battlefield and that did survive to tell the tale. And it's just that he was that caked in blood that from a distance they saw him as like, yeah, they thought he was red, so any sort of pictures and that or anything that was passed around about him portrayed him as red, but yeah, he's actually just sort of possessed human skin colour. Yeah, as you can see, we've still left plenty of the other tones in the shadows. And we're just going to be going over his armour panels with this corn red now. It was quite hard to capture some of the putting the red on, just his like body positions really like creased over and stuff, so it was hard to capture it on camera, so I haven't got much footage of me doing the red, but it's just pretty much the same as we always do and like what we've done with the previous colours. We're just spraying it from like a zenithal perspective and leaving darker tones in the shadows. And yeah, just gradually as we work up through the colours, getting brighter and brighter, we'll be covering less and less surface area. So I'll just be using this Kislev flesh now. We're just going to be bringing his skin tone up to a brighter colour, but we're still going to be leaving plenty of contrast in the shadows and that. And yeah, we're giving him like a real cool sort of demon flesh. But yeah, again, just like our previous colours, we're just covering less and less surface area. We don't want to be covering up the layers we've already put down, we just add in some extra sort of pop to it. I'm just using a 1:1 ratio of the barrel red and the magenta, and yeah, just spraying it into all of the creases and like in between his muscles and stuff, just to help define them and just bring a bit more contrast back into the model. And yeah, the reason I didn't just go for just the barrel red is because I didn't want him to be red, and then with the magenta it take up like too many like coats to get the colour to where I want it. So I just find the adding the red to the magenta just helps speed that up a bit. But yeah, because I didn't want him like pinky and I didn't want him red, just somewhere just blending in the middle. Cool, just using this Mephiston red now just to do the rest of his armour panels. Again, just spraying this from a zenithal perspective. And yeah, just putting it where we think it would look cool. Again, not covering up the previous layers, we're just slowly just bringing up the highlights on it. And just be going over his skin again with Scadian flesh tone. Just taming down some of where I went in with the shadow colours, just to redefine it. And yeah, just bringing them back to, yeah, a nice skin tone again. But yeah, just going really slow, taking my time and just picking out exactly where I want it. Yeah, looking really cool. I'm so pleased with him so far. He is a really nice model to paint. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up Angron if you fancy him. And then yeah, just bringing up the skin tone again. Just going to make him pop. Just picking out some certain areas. And yeah, just getting the sort of the possessed look into him. But yeah, definitely looking really cool. You're just going to be using this Black Legion now just to go over his wing membranes. We'll just be using this Screamer Pink, and we're just going to be doing like all the bone parts and stuff. It's okay for this to overspray onto the black as well. But yeah, just try and keep it as tight to the sort of like the bony bits as possible. But yeah, it's okay for it to overspray onto the membrane. And I'm just going to be using this Bowel Red just to sort of bring up the red on his armour slightly. I just like to see it pop in just a little bit more. And the layers on it do look really cool already. I'm just trying to get it, just that extra bit of contrast on it. But yeah, just going slowly with the layers, just taking my time just to build up gradually. I'm going to just be using this Incubi Darkness. And yeah, I'll just be spraying, like aiming at the center of the wing membrane. And yeah, just starting to get a cool, sort of nice highlight onto the black now. And just get the wings popping a bit more. I'll just give them a quick look around, make sure I'm happy. But yeah, definitely like coming together really well so far. And again, just going back in on the armour with this Wild Rider Red. Just want that next level of pop on it. I guess just because the surface area on this model is quite big, so you can't afford to like, yeah, pop on more layers than usual just to get the red where I want it to be. But yeah, that's better. That looks sick. Nice. I'll just be using this Balthazar gold. I'll just be going over all of his gold trim and gold bits with this. I'll also be doing his, like the wires that are on his head, like his, similar to like what I did with the Exalted 8-bound, and had it so it like sort of mimics like blonde hair. And yeah, that's cool because it like, yeah, it's like good continuity for what Angron looked like before he turned into this giant demon. But yeah, I'm super happy with how my army's looking at the moment. I've got this cool sort of Viking Nordic army of berserkers. And yeah, definitely one of my favourite armies I've painted. And yeah, I'm well pleased with how they look individually and yeah, just as a whole. Definitely looking really cool. Yeah, just doing all the silver parts now. With the lead belcher. And what I'll be doing, so I've got like all the chains and like parts on the axe and stuff, but I'm not going to be painting the sword till last, so I won't be adding the silver to the sword just yet. And just be using this Carver Crimson to go over all of the gold trim and just gold parts. Decided to go with this instead of the Agrax Earthshade just because the like the surface areas are a lot larger, and yeah, just yeah, it looks a lot cooler, I think, with like the scale of this model. And yeah, it's cool because you get to see like all the sort of purples and reds and stuff would like be bouncing around on the nice like golden parts. And just the same thing with the Noon Oil, but over all of the silver pieces, just adding some depth back into it. And just be highlighting all of the gold with this one as well. So yeah, we're just basically trying to catch the edges and add some scratches and a bit of texture back on. Yeah, again, just not trying to cover up the previous layers, just adding some pop back in. And just be doing the same thing with the silvers. Yeah, just adding some texture and scratches back in and just an extra bit of pop. Cool, so just using this matte black to go over all of his tubes. I didn't get any of the footage for that, but it's literally just all of the like the tubes that are hanging off him and going in him. Just paint those black. And then we're just using these skin tones just to go over his flesh. So we're just bringing it up just the extra like level of detail. We're covering over some of the overspray areas. And yeah, we're just adding some texture and stuff back into him because we want him to look like rough and possessed and battle worn, and like he's spent a lot of time outside. So yeah, it's like the airbrush is really cool because he gives you super smooth skin, but we want him looking a bit more sort of manly and a bit less feminine. Just give him some like nice texture on him. So yeah, pretty much the same technique as I used for the Exalted 8 bound in Jackals. Just adding texture and stuff onto him. And yeah, just upping the contrast on him. And yeah, just doing the same thing just across all of his skin. You can also just skip this step. He looks like super cool and like sick as anything without the texture marks and stuff on him. But it's just like an extra little bit of detail just that I like to put in. But yeah, it's definitely a skippable step. So yeah, don't worry about this if you're not keen on the paintbrush. And yeah, just putting some little bit extra detail on his face, just getting it to really pop. And yeah, I did forget to mention the sort of the spiky collar or trophy racks that I got on his just above his head. I got those off of Demon Prince, so I just had like a spare couple. and I just stuck those on there just because without his like the hood that he comes with, it looks a bit like strange and bare up there. So yeah, I felt just like if I stuck those trophy racks on and give them like a bit of a collar, it definitely like help solve that. And I think it looks really cool. But yeah, feel free to, you know, go a different direction or do something else. Again, you could just build him with all his chest plate and shoulder pads and stuff and do the same colours as like what I've done here. But yeah, and also it's just you could use it as a good opportunity to practice doing some skin, and then yeah, paint his armour plates up separately and then stick them on after. So I'll just be using these colours just to highlight his wings, and yeah, just get them popping and looking cool. I don't usually dry brush, so I haven't got the Artis Opus dry brush set. I would like it, but it's just a bit out of my price range at the moment. And yeah, just seeing as I don't dry brush very often, I thought I'll get these cheaper Army Painter ones and see how I get on, and then maybe if I really enjoy it and start doing more dry brushing, I might invest in the Artis Opus ones. But I did get the Artis Opus texture palette and the little dampening pad. I thought I'd give those a try, because yeah, I tend to like stay away from dry brushing just for all the sort of stereotypical things that go along with it. But yeah, actually using the texture pad and the dampening pad, yeah, that was a good shout. It's definitely like no chalkiness or like weird streaking, and definitely a lot easier to control the sort of type of paint you have on your dry brush. So yeah, it's actually like really cool. So yeah, I think if I find myself dry brushing more in the future, I'll definitely invest in a set of the Artis Opus ones. But yeah, these Army Painter ones work just fine for what I needed, so yeah, I was pleased. But yeah, we just sort of yeah, just dry brushing in the wing membranes, just trying to bring out the texture in it. But yeah, we're just trying to leave the black in that. We're not trying to change them into a dark green or anything. We do still want them to read as black. But yeah, really pleased with how it's coming along so far. And yeah, yeah, just surprised at how big a difference the texture palette and the little dampening pad made. So yeah, definitely recommend those. And then just swapping over to the smaller one and just adding a slightly lighter, so I did like an in-between of the Incubi Darkness and the Blue Horror. And then I'll just be like adding more and more like Blue Horror to it and covering less and less surface. But yeah, even already like all the claws and the wings are like popping and looking sick. Still reading as black, and yeah, they've got like the cool where we sort of oversprayed the purple into it as well, so we've still got like that cool contrast there as well. So yeah, I really like the look of the wings. They do sort of like change colours depending on the rotation of it. But yeah, like overall when you look at it, like how you should view it, the wings do like read as black, so yeah, well happy. And also if you did go too far with this step, you could just get some of that Black Legion or the Black Templar and just thin it down a bit and just go over some of the membranes, just if you took it too far away from black or it wasn't reading as black to you. You can just use that to spray over it, and these colours will still like burn through, so you'll still have your highlights, but it will just read more as black. Yeah, just getting some texture onto the claws and stuff that are hanging off it. It's worth mentioning as well, like the sort of spiky bit on his tail, I also like did the same process too on that. But yeah, just definitely I would recommend painting this model. It was loads of fun to paint. He was a little bit awkward just with the positioning, like how he's like creased over. But that was more like awkward from like a filming perspective, as opposed to like if you were just sat at home chilling painting it. Like it's still quite a nice model to paint. And yeah, all the trim's nice and big. It's got like plenty of detail. Definitely like a good piece to like practice a range of different skills on. So we've done a lot of airbrushing. We've done like traditional like paintbrush and then also some dry brush. So yeah, like super cool model, definitely recommend it. Oh yeah, I'm just going over some of the bony bits on his wings with a Screamer Pink, just seeing as it's already on the wet palette, and just thought, oh yeah, just bring it up in, get them just to pop a little bit more, get them a bit more eye-catching. Yeah, that's another handy thing about having a wet palette. You've just got all your colours on there that you've been using, and then yeah, when you just suddenly decide, oh yeah, I'm going to just bring out these wings a little bit, it's still on a wet palette and still usable paint. So yeah, definitely recommend getting a wet palette if you haven't got one already. Oh yeah, and just another thing to mention as well, so I've been like really handling the model, and that's like not really a good practice. So if you can stick him to a base or secure him to something, just so you're not like constantly like touching the model all over, because you will, if you're not super delicate with it, you will like rub off like the edges, and you'll have to go over it again, which if you're not confident using a paintbrush and you've done mostly airbrushing, that's gonna like ruin your day when you see like the grey shining through and you're not sure how to do it with a paintbrush. But yeah, we're just doing all of his sort of armpit hair and just hairy bits with this with these yellows. I'm just gonna make them like blonde just to suit his aesthetic. And then we just add in some of the depth back into like the hairy bits, and then we'll probably go back in and just like re-highlight it again after, once it's dried. Yeah, so just just re-highlighting it again, getting it to pop. And just be going over all of his teeth in like skull parts. He's got like a bunch of little skulls in his axe. But yeah, just bringing out his teeth. You'll just be doing a bit of his base now, so just be going over all the stone parts on it. And then just doing all the skulls on the base. But yeah, really enjoying using the dry brushes. But yeah, it's nice. I'm glad I started using those. Definitely makes a lot of the jobs a lot easier, and yeah, the results are really nice. Especially using the texture palette and that little dampening pad in combination with them. And just going over all like the silver spikes on there with this lead belcher. Always got a little helmet on there, so I just thought I'd do like a little ultramarine one. Just doing a basic job with him because we're going to be putting quite a bit of basic material on, so you don't need to spend too much time like going over all of these parts on the base. Yeah, just doing a sword now, so just super thin down Vallejo white primer, and yeah, basically trying to concentrate it into the sort of the crack in where the like the skulls are like breaking through it. And yeah, just make sure you go slow and bring it up to a pure white, so where it's really thin down, it goes through like different levels of grey before it reaches the pure white, but just make sure that you hit the pure white. And yeah, we're just going to be using these colours to highlight it. We'll just be putting this yellow on first. Again, just bring this up to the pure yellow. And yeah, really try and concentrate and get that like the centre parts where the skulls are coming through. You definitely want that reading as like proper bright yellow. I'm just using my hand as a bit of a spray guard. And yeah, we're just sort of going around the edges. So definitely still leaving the yellow in the centre. And yeah, we're just trying to catch like around the edge of it. So yeah, just doing exactly the same with the red, just covering less and less surface area and just getting darker the further away we get from the light source. But yeah, looking super sick already. It's really popping, looks so cool. And then yeah, just all the same again, but with the black now. So covering even less and just getting even more dark the further away we get from the light source. Now you could do the same thing as I did with the Lord Invocatus, and like dry brush over the top of the skulls and stuff with darker colours just to really concentrate the yellow, but I really like the way that this looks. Like I think that looks super cool. Like yeah, it's so sick, it's like so bright and eye-catching. And yeah, really simple to do, so yeah, definitely give that a go. And yeah, I've attached them to the base now, so I'm stop fingering all over the model and risking accidentally removing some of the paint. But yeah, just seeing how it looks all together and just giving it a proper investigate, make sure I haven't missed anything or if I want to add or take something away. But yeah, super sick model, absolutely love him. And then we'll just be going over his sword and we're basically just adding slight texture and like edged highlights with it. And yeah, just so you can see that the sword is metallic, and we can just sort of, we're making it so you can see like the sheen of it through the heat. So yeah, we're not trying to put like a thick coat of silver on it, just yeah, just subtly highlighting it and indicating that it is metallic. Again, similar to like what I did with the Lord Invocatus on the Juggernaut, when I went over all the like the chainmail and stuff of this. Cool, we're just going to be using these colours for his eyes. Yeah, just super patient. Just add in like the darkest blue. And then bringing it up into the next lightest blue. And we're just covering like a smaller surface area, so just trying to get this right in the middle. A small circle. Yeah, just be super patient. If you make any mistakes, just go back over with the skin colours or add some carbon crimson into the eye sockets. Just cover it over, put like an off-white colour on the main eyeball, and then yeah, start building it up from the blue again. Here we go, just getting the black dot just in the very centre. And then doing the white dot just off centre, say like diagonal right of the black dot. And yeah, hopefully the camera will pick it up. You can see his eyes. Nice and realistic, looking super cool. I'm so pleased with this model. He's definitely like, yeah, come out exactly like how I wanted him to. But yeah, hopefully you can see his eyes. But yeah, just lots and lots of patience. Don't worry about making mistakes. You've got all the other colours anyway. Just go around his face if you accidentally go out. And yeah, if you need to darken up his eye sockets again, just stick some Carver Crimson in. That'll separate his eye from his face. Yeah, just give him a nice look over, make sure I'm happy. If you need to add anything or take anything away. But yeah, just super pleased with his skin, his sword, his like armour. The wings are looking cool. Yeah, definitely like, yeah, one of the happiest I've been with a model I've painted. Just super pleased with him. And these are all the basic materials I use. I didn't bother putting the footage in for it. It's like, it's a bit boring. But I thought we'd had the blood for the blood god. Just a few different techniques. So like I was saying before, of why he might have been called the Red Angel. It's just someone that might have caught a glimpse at him from distance that did actually manage to survive to tell the tale. And yeah, just that he's absolutely caked in blood. So yeah, we're just going in on his weapons first. And yeah, just getting him proper gory and bloody, just how you'd expect him to be. But yeah, this is always the most fun step. Like, you can just really relax and just have fun with it. To be fair, I've never really gone wrong with using the blood for the blood god. It's always looked cool. Even if when you get overexcited with it, it still looks cool. But yeah, I also, just to mention, I rebased the rest of my Khorne army, just with like these sort of snow bases. And yeah, just giving it a cool sort of Nordic, Icelandic feel. Here I am just with like a super stiff bristle brush, just giving him some sort of more controlled, like gentle, like flicks. So you get like a lot smaller sort of like blood speckling or splatter with this one. You don't get a lot that comes off, and yeah, it's sort of yeah, not more controlled, but yeah, just like a different type of blood spray. And then just doing the same thing, but I'm using a brush and an airbrush now, and this is going to be like a proper like mist, like a proper, yeah, just a blood mist. It looks sick. And yeah, this is like where my idea of this is why he's called the Red Angel, because he's just been caked in so much blood, and people that have seen him from a distance like actually think his skin's red, but he's not. He's just caked in his enemy's blood. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, super happy with him. He's like such a cool model. 100% recommend getting him and giving him a paint. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, share.